Hey, welcome to this VHF UHF channel, and this is a quick video. I'll be doing a few of those because I want to share a little bit of the information of what we can receive on certain frequency ranges. The first frequency range in the VHF bands is usually on pretty much every scanner 30 to 54 megahertz. And of course, if you have a communications receiver, that is a range that you receive also. So at 30 to 54, one of the characteristics of that VHF low band is the fact that the longer the antenna you have, the better you'll have reception. Because of the low frequency, the meter band is still large. So at 30 megahertz, well, it's 10 meters. So it gives you an idea of how big an antenna would need to be to resonate. So if you have a long telescopic or an outdoor antenna like a disc cone or a big vertical, this would work pretty well on this low band. What you can encounter here, pretty much anything. There's still a lot of law enforcement that use the low bands, fire departments in the United States. There's a lot of places where they're still there. And basically, there's a lot of stuff to listen to. But it's one of the bands, like I said, you need a good antenna. It's one of the bands. What you should do is simply have your scanner scan continuously from 30 to 54 and have it check out and listen. And you'll find signals. You'll be able to pinpoint the different types of signals. Some of the things that is to note here is that they also can propagate like shortwave signals. So basically what's happening is that these are frequencies that when propagation from sporadic E-skip or when there's very high solar activity, you'd be surprised that you can hear signals from very far away up to 54 megahertz. General information for anyone that wants to know. Well, one of the band 38 to 38.250 is reserved for radio astronomy. So, and this list, by the way, is really far from being, there a complete list. It's just general use. Scan in your different areas. So here, 40.660 to 40.700, industrial, scientific, medical, wildlife, ocean, stuff like that. Here, the base of the old FM cordless telephones, 43.710, 44.490, and I mean, this isn't really used much anymore. There's also cordless phone based transmitters on 46.600, 46.980. Once again, these are old and you probably won't hear much anymore. The transmitter for the headset, 48750, 4951, 4966 to 50 megahertz. This one is interesting, 49660 to 50 megahertz. You could probably hear baby monitors, especially if you're in a very urban area and have lots of neighbors. You probably hear some baby transmitters there. I hear at least 4 or 5 of them in that range where I live, so they're still very active, and that's something that you can, of course, try to listen to. And at the top end, 50 to 54 megahertz, this is the 6 meters amateur band. 6 meters amateur band is a very nice amateur band. It is often not in use very much on local scale. So for example, here in Montreal, I don't really hear much activity on 6 meters. But when sporadic E-skip will start happening, when solar activity gets a little high, you start listening to skip from these frequencies. So I often hear amateur radio operators from the United States on this band. The lower part of the band, 50 to 50 50 to 51 megahertz, let's say. A lot of the signals are in Morse code or USB, upper sideband. But apart from that, the rest of the band, a lot of it is FM mode. So for anyone that has a regular scanner, doesn't have, the single sideband, stuff like that, you still can listen to skip from FM repeaters and from FM amateur stations. So it's a quick look at the base of 30 to 54 megahertz band, but it's very, very much an interesting frequency range. Get yourself a good antenna, something that's longer than the little, because the biggest problem 30 to 54 often is that people use the little rubber ducky antenna. And the rubber ducky antenna is no good for that frequency range. So if you get yourself a nice big telescopic antenna or an outdoor antenna, you'll see that this band, which is maybe very quiet on your little rubber ducky, suddenly comes to life on a better antenna. So check it out. It's worth it to listen and to let your scanner, that's why it's called a scanner, by the way. It's there that it can actually go from 30 to 54 and let it scan all the time. Do something else and leave it on while it's scanning that frequency range. You'll be surprised at the type of signal and all the signals you can hear. If you enjoy my videos, why not subscribe to my channel? You'll be informed when new videos are online. Give us thumbs up if you like the videos. And if you have any comments, questions, suggestions of videos, please don't hesitate to ask. And thank you for following me on the channel.